Hi, this is Dr. Uma Naidoo. I'm a Harvard nutritional psychiatrist, a chef, an author, and a nutrition specialist. And I'm so excited to be talking to you today about the gut-brain connection, which I also like to call the food-mood connection. Thank you, Vogue India, for hosting me, and I'm so excited to join all of you today. First and foremost, the gut and brain are not close by in the body. So you might wonder, how are these two organs connected? Well, it goes back to embryology. In the developing embryo, the exact same cells will actually give rise to the gut and brain. These two organs then form and live apart in the body, but they remain connected in so many different ways. Another way is through the 10th cranial nerve called the vagus nerve. This nerve I like to call a two-way superhighway, allowing for bidirectional back and forth messaging between the gut and brain and the brain and gut. And this superhighway works 24/7, 365 days a year, allowing for these chemical messages to go back and forth. Next, you may have heard of medications such as Prozac in the United States, otherwise called fluoxetine. They belong to a family or group of medications called selective serotonin reuptake inhibitors. Well, it turns out that more than 90% of those receptors for serotonin are found in the gut. Another link you can see. Now, in addition to that, during these times when we should be concerned about keeping up our good immunity, 70% of our immune system is also located in the gut. So that is important for us to understand, to eat a healthy whole foods diet in order to keep and maintain a good immunity. These factors I help explain to individuals how the gut and brain are connected. But when we try to make that connection between food and mood, how does that actually work? Well, it turns out that there is a group of living organisms called microbes, and there are different types of microbiota that live in the gut. They are really intended there to live there to help us, and they are made up of trillions of microbes that could be virus, fungi, bacteria, different types that are there to help us. But as with all things in life, there are good microbes, but there are also bad microbes. When we eat a healthy, whole foods, nutritious diet, the good microbes are fed well, they are nurtured, they eat well, and they take care of us by the substances they break down from our food. Now, when we don't eat healthy foods and we go towards junk foods, processed foods, and fast foods, and lots of sugary foods, the bad microbes thrive, and when they thrive, they overcome the good microbes, and that's a setup for inflammation in the gut, and really that can lead to an uptick or worsening of mental health symptoms or new onset of mental health symptoms, amongst other physical problems in your body. Now, and thinking about foods that we should be careful about to limit, avoid, or cut back on, because they would in fact be feeding the bad microbes. Let's break down that list. Starting off at the top with the added and refined sugars. Now, 4 grams of sugar is 1 teaspoon. So the next time you look at a food label or recipe, try to calculate that for yourself, because many of us understand sugar in terms of teaspoons. At the same time, it's important to understand that there are many hidden sources of sugar in foods. So read those food labels and understand where those hidden and added sugars are coming from. Because unfortunately, the added and refined sugars really worsen mental health symptoms. Another category is the processed, ultra-processed junk foods and fast foods. Those types of foods are just disruptive for those gut microbes and do not feed them the right type of food. So when you can, try to limit or avoid those. They also contain a lot of stabilizers, dyes, colorants, and preservatives, which are not good for our body or our brain. Another category is artificial sweeteners, except for some of the newest on the market. Most of the research surrounding the artificial sweeteners is not good for mental health. So try to cut back on those when you can, and be aware of where they may be hidden. If for example, you're drinking a diet soda or a diet cola instead of a full sugared beverage. Another category is processed vegetable oils. Now, this is a difficult category because many different cultures cook with different types of oils, but many of them are pro-inflammatory. The best types of cooking oils are extra virgin olive oil for low heat cooking and avocado oil for higher heat cooking. And these are the ones that you want to try to move toward if you want to avoid inflammation. Moderate amounts of ghee are perfectly fine, but mixing them up with other healthy oils is also important. Now, it's understandable that we may have to avoid or limit certain foods to help ourselves, but what are the things that we can do to help our brain and boost and help our mental fitness? The first of the pillars of nutritional psychiatry that I talk about is using healthy whole foods. So I say eat whole, be whole. And the example is eat the orange and skip the store-bought orange juice. And this is because store-bought orange juices often have the fiber removed and the vitamins and minerals at a minimum. So rather eat the whole orange or squeeze that orange juice yourself. But again, eat the whole food when you can. Another one of these categories is eat the color of the rainbows. If you look at fruit and vegetables in nature, they have many beautiful colors, and these colors represent the rich polyphenols that are antioxidant and anti-inflammatory, which are good for the brain and good for the body. So add those into your diet. Have a salad, add into roasted vegetables, add it to curries, soups, and stews, and these are really good for your body. Another category is eat those leafy greens. You know, there are many different Indian foods especially that use different forms of leafy greens, and these are really good for your brain because they are rich in folate and iron, as well as numerous minerals and nutrients, and these actually are correlated with better mental well-being. So for example, folate in leafy greens is thought and considered to be associated with depression because low levels of folate are associated with depression. So eating enough leafy greens in your diet, a few servings a day, adding it to your lunch, your dinner, or even your breakfast is important. Another one is paying attention to body intelligence. Now that is really understanding how you feel when you eat a certain food. Many of us ignore these feelings, but if you're feeling a little bit of brain fog or some discomfort or feeling tired, exhausted when you eat a certain meal, pay attention to what that meal might have been and how you might be able to tweak it for a better option in the future. Another category is actually understanding that these changes with your mental fitness take time. So if you're making changes towards a healthier diet, trying to eat more vegetables, fruit, beans, nuts, lentils, legumes, healthy whole grains, and seeds, these will take time to make those adjustments in your gut microbiome and to your body, and as well as your mental fitness. So be patient with yourself, make slow and steady changes, and most importantly, stick to the changes you make. It's not a one-size-fits-all, it does not happen overnight, and it's not a quick fix. But I promise you that if you start paying attention to the foods that you eat, that over time, your mental fitness will improve. Thank you so much for talking and spending time with me today. It has been a pleasure talking with you.